the Maximum Nerdum guys, where today we're doing our new podcast called the Triple Issue Podcast. We talk about 3 issues every Monday. Come and enjoy. Ah, God, well, no, everybody else, introduce yourselves. I'm done.
I'm Ren.
I'm Seagistic.
I'm Katie Lizzie.
And for the 3 topics we're discussing today, we're having an all Batman day because we have Birds of Prey with their teaser trailer. We have Ben Affleck saying bye-bye to being Batman, and we have a Batman Beyond movie that turns out to be. So, yeah. Ren, you want to take it over from here?
Alright, so ever since Ben Affleck was casted, there was 2 sides of him being casted. The first side is the hardcore DC fanboys that didn't approve of him, and some shady shit happened with him. And then the second is people who are upset that he's leaving. Now, Ben Affleck, he's this kind of actor who, he's not fully dedicated to everything. He quit acting for a while.
Guys, I have to go. I'm not going to be able to be here for this podcast.
Alright. But anyway, he became a director, and he came back, and he didn't get that much action towards his performance of Batman and Batman v Superman.
Because, to be honest, we kind of knew he was leaving because even Henry Cavill was thinking about leaving. And it feels like everyone in the DCEU, they're losing actors by the minute. So it's strange. It's not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, because Ben Affleck, he's been wanting to quit after BBS. He thought it was just a one-time thing. Then they put him some 9 appearances, his contract, extra money. But then the fallout happened with Justice League. A bad criticism from both critics and fans, backlashing the hell out of it. Fans want a reboot. They all set their way up because Snyder either stepped down or was fired, and
Snyder stepped down.
And then the sequel for Justice League was supposed to be Ben Affleck's final movie too, because Bruce Wayne dies in that, which is the original plan for Snyder.
Yeah.
Now we all knew this. We all knew that he wanted to quit for a while because compare him with 3 actors. Henry Cavill's dedicated to
Believe it or not, we're filling up time.
As far as Ben Affleck leaving, I know like the last 3 Batman movies, as far as like Christian Bale was involved, and he was in all 3 of them. But the ones before that, it's almost like we switched Batman constantly. I mean, really, what difference is it gonna be?
It's the James Bond effect, actors.
Yeah. We've switched characters and things like that. I mean, as far as Anne Hathaway being Catwoman versus Michelle Pfeiffer being Catwoman in the original, Tim Burton versions. And honestly, if I had a personal opinion, I didn't really care for the entirety of Ben Affleck being in Batman at all. And as far as the movies were concerned, the original from Batman to Batman and Robin were like the Batman movies for me. The Batman Begins series to the Dark Knight Rises were just not Batman for me, even though Christian Bale did a pretty good job being Batman. It's just, I don't know, it didn't have the same feel.
My problem is that they're trying too hard to do the Marvel effect where they're trying to build up a universe, but they're not building up their solo characters. Which explains why Ben Affleck's leaving, because okay, again, as you said, it was supposed to be a one-time, but notice that even if it wasn't a one-time thing, the character, he wasn't able to get fully into the character. Batman hasn't had a solo movie, and the Batman solo movie was so in turmoil that they weren't able to actually get it off the ground. So it comes to the terms of, yeah, it would be cool, but I understand where he's coming from because I'm not getting any work.
Yeah, he has to stay in certain shape. It's like, look at Hugh Jackman, the perfect example of he has to be buff for Wolverine. It's ruining his career of other shots. The last time he had to be in shape for a movie was for Chappie because of the character he was. He was a military kind of character. But if you see the movie Pan, I don't recall in history that pirates were buff. You know, he was supposed to be Blackbeard, but he looked, you know, too buff for the character. And then when he left Logan, after Logan, he slimmed back down to the normal weight he wanted, and he did The Greatest Showman, which was a success. Ben Affleck's like, okay, I have to stay in shape, but how am I gonna get certain roles if I'm in this shape?
Exactly.
Plus, he stepped down as both director for the Batman movie and writer because of all the stress with Warner Brothers, the stress of the fan backlash because of the aftermath of Justice League.
I mean, okay, Hugh Jackman is one thing. Nobody's gonna look at Wolverine and go, okay, you can't. It's got to be Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has to be. Like, Wolverine has to be Hugh Jackman. It's just hands down. It has to be done. You can't do without him. But, and we're talking about Hugh Jackman as an actor versus Ben Affleck as an actor. I've never seen Ben Affleck in a superhero role ever. Like, and the idea of him being a superhero in any term when he became Batman, I laughed because I was like, it's just stupid. And, you know, and you're looking at Hugh, like I said, Hugh Jackman's ability to be a character actor is completely different than Ben Affleck's ability to be an actor in itself. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff he's played in, like Jersey Girl, he did really, really well in.
Yeah.
Because he got that ability. Dogma, he did really, really well in, because that's basically the category of movies in which he stayed in. For him to branch out to superhero movies is a really good effort for him. But like, if he's stepping back because he just doesn't think this is good for his career, it might just be good for the DC universe in general, just to get, like, not have Ben Affleck as Batman in person.
But it's like he's had experience. He's had terrible experience, but he's had experience. He's worked as Daredevil. And the difference between, it's not the difference of acting abilities, it's the difference of, I can stay in shape for this amount long and not, you know, fucking gorge on fucking In-N-Out burgers every day. And when it comes to Ben Affleck and it came to this role, we were all very, very like not okay with the role, but there was a reason for it. And it was mainly, he's already kind of messed up. He's a lot older for this role. Like, we look back at Michael Keaton, and we look back at all of the older Batman. They weren't super duper old. They weren't in their 50s. They were like in their 30s.
30s, 40s.
They were in their 30s, 20s, 40s. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you get Ben Affleck in his 50s, bro. He's not going to be doing no flips and stuff around. Like, he's essentially Batman Beyond right before he retired.
I think that's why they're going to kill him off in Justice League too. And hand the mantle to probably Dick Grayson, even though the original idea for Dick Grayson was, oh, he's dead in this universe.
But he was what in this universe?
Dead. That was the original plan before, you know, Snyder stepped down. But how I saw Ben Affleck not serious is that I compared him to Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, and Henry Cavill. They're working their asses off to stay in shape because they have to. You know, for their movie roles.
Especially with their characters.
Exactly. Ben Affleck's like, oh no, I'm just gonna take steroids.
It doesn't work for Batman, because Batman, if we look at him, if we just look at a random thing of him, which you guys will probably see gameplay of Arkham or whatever, you'll see that he's more in the shape of a ninja as bodybuilder.
And the thing is, I did like Ben Affleck as Batman because it reminded me of the Arkham games, the fighting style, and him having his full martial arts style, which the other movies lack of. But what I didn't like is that there wasn't enough detective. None of the movies had that blend of martial arts and World's Great Detective. We have is just, oh, here's him solving something for like a good 5 minutes. That's it. We don't see him studying his character, his roles at all. Which I think maybe Matt Reeves will deliver that justice, but fans are overreacting a little out of hand.
Exactly. And it's like, when it comes to Ben Affleck, he's a good actor. Again, you guys brought up like tons of movie roles he's done, but when it comes to him actually thinking, like, he's one and done. He's a one and done actor. I do one movie for this, no sequels, and then that's why even in Daredevil, like, I'm glad that I didn't get a sequel or any type of like cameo in Electra or whatever. Wanna know why?
Why? Exactly.
Because he was like, he would lose. He got out of shape. get out of shape. You either get too skinny or too big for a role. You can't handle it.
The thing is, though, the fans don't understand that it depends on the artist how they make Batman. You know, in his early days, he wasn't that, you know, buff. He was like, you know, the average 30s, 40s muscular. Then Frank Miller brought in the muscles and all that, and fans and artists started going with muscle. And if you see the comics, he's not that buff compared to the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Because you know, he's buff on there because of the armor, or because you know, the shape he is without the armor.
And even so, he's smaller compared to most superheroes.
Yeah, and he's tall. They have to make him like, you know, try to make him shorter than Henry Cavill because he's taller than Henry Cavill.
That's true. And the thing is, like, Henry Cavill, when we compare him to Ben Affleck, he towers over him.
Yeah,
But that's what Superman is supposed to.
yeah. And we're supposed to see how, you know, how actors are dedicated. Henry Cavill's the biggest one, so just Moore and give it up. Ben Affleck's like, oh, I'm Batman anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, no, we get it. You're a fan at home, but the problem is you're not showing us that, you know, you're trying to make us love Batman again, because Nolan sort of destroyed that, just like with the 90s movies after Batman Returns.
Yeah.
You know, Batman's facing the same curse as Superman. The actors, the Superman curse. They don't know how to put him on the big screen compared to the other stuff you have. You know, we've seen it all, but we haven't seen a true Batman movie where it's like, again, mixture of martial arts and being a detective. You know, a blended of Batman and Bruce Wayne. We never had that much.
And the thing is, I have to say is that, I hate to say it, but that doesn't work on movies. That works for TV series.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind a Batman TV series.
As much as I hate Gotham, they developed the characters.
Yeah, sadly,
in a shitty way, but they didn't.
Yeah, they tried.
It's because they have the time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're looking at a series versus a movie where you have to cram, let's say, like an entire, even like anime. You know what I mean? If we had to cram an entire volume into one episode, that's not gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to.
Yeah. But here's another example. Smallville. We got to see Clark, you know, fitted into a human world. He's different than a human.
Yeah.
He kind of portrayed a mixture of Dean Kane's Superman and Christopher Reeve.
And that's true.
Yeah.
And as statistics said, they just have the time.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind having another Batman show. I wouldn't mind if it connected with Gotham. You know, because, you know, I hate that show so much, you know, because the characters they did to them. But you know what? It worked, and it lasted 5 seasons. I have high respect for it.
Exactly.
You know, I want to say something a little off topic. I mean, as far as developing story and making some type of character development, that's why I liked the Tim Burton movies so much, was the fact that, like Michelle Pfeiffer being Catwoman, it was a really basic beginner story for her, but you got the idea within a matter of 10 minutes.
Yeah, same thing with Penguin too.
Yeah, and Penguin, exactly. You got the basic idea within a 10-minute time frame, and you only wasted 20 minutes of film in an hour and 45-minute film. And you know, they did the same with all of those movies as far as you know, Two-Face and Poison Ivy. Again, only like a 10-minute backstory, but it, you know, it makes sense. It may not, you know, go completely with what the comics had mentioned, or you know, what Bane's existence actually is and stuff like that. It delves a little bit deeper as you go into different comics and things like that. But he managed to do it and make it credible within a certain amount of time. And Gotham, because it's a series, it gives it so much and enough time to actually develop these characters and develop who they are. With the newer movies, it seems like everything, and that's, I mean, I'm not even saying that about, you know, necessarily DC. I'm talking about Marvel as well. Any of the superhero movies, I've kind of gotten turned off because they're all kind of the same. They all kind of follow the same formula. And it's a little bit harder to sit there and watch them and try and think and what I'm trying to say, try and see look at a character's backstory and development without wasting major film and too much.
Like, that's a good example too.
I feel like, well, you go over in my bad.
Like, what DC can do though to fix this mess, they can kind of do like Marvel did. Look at the first 3 Captain America movies. One wasn't that serious, which is developing them. Second one, pretty freaking serious, you know, because they had the balls to make it sort of more violent than the first one and any other Marvel movie they did. And the third one was more like a big clash between other characters. If DC wanted to, they could do a World's Finest like that. Have the third Batman movie or whatever movie, the World's Finest. We don't need a Justice League movie.
At this moment, no, we don't. Because at this point, there's too many crossover movies at this point.
And they're having problems with the
It's not
Flash.
special anymore. Exactly, we don't need the Flash movie because we already have a Flash TV show. And my one problem is with that is like, at this point, just connect the two
They might as well.
because it's not working separate. It's not working separate. Look at this. This is your third. I don't know if Shazam so happened to be bad. If God knows what happened. DC is in hot water because you can't just have 2 bangers and come out with a real trash movie.
Here's how it. Man of Steel made decent numbers. Hated on, but not brutally hated. Then they made a sequel, Batman v Superman. They rushed Batman in there and Wonder Woman. I like the idea that Batman's been around for years because Marvel did that with Spider-Man, that he was been around for 6 months.
James, honey.
Okay.
Did something happen?
Then we had Suicide Squad, their second movie. That was backlash and it was terrible. Then we had Wonder Woman. Oh, she saved the day. She saved DC. And what happened? Justice League. Why? Drama on set. Drama with Zack Snyder stepping down. They're bringing in Josh Whedon, the most hated director because of the Marvel movies and his past. That bombed. But make your money. And then we get a character that everybody hated because of a couple of reasons. One is how he portrayed the Super Friends. 2, Family Guy joking about it. And 3, Big Bang 2. But what happened? Billions of dollars within how many weeks?
In just 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah. If DC pays attention to that, when we're saying, hey, give us our own fucking studio. Don't interfere with us. We'll ask you permission if you do this or that. And let's keep the flow going from Aquaman. They had 2 directors that, you know, they stood up against one. We're saying, no, you're not interfering with our stuff. Now they're bringing in James Gunn for Suicide Squad to fix that mess. I believe Matt Reeves can fix Batman because he knows character development. If you see the Planet of the Apes remakes, those 3 of them, they're pretty good. He did such a great job developing Caesar.
And I feel like if they don't, here's the thing: if Warner Bros. Aren't willing to take that risk, you're not doing your properties right, and you're wondering why aren't you're interfering constantly. You're not letting the director do what they want. You're not letting the vision of the character do, and actors are getting discouraged. And that is your own fault. That is not the actor's fault. That's not the director's fault. That's your fault because you're not giving them the freedom they need. Why do you think Marvel movies do good? Disney just says do whatever the fuck you want as long as it falls under contract. You know what characters you can and can't use. Do your shit.
But Disney also has an unlimited supply of money, which makes that a lot easier as well. I mean, I don't know how many. I mean, I worked in film for 5 years. Ability to raise funds, even for top quality Hollywood movies, is not easy as far as finding the producers that you need to be able to produce the films. And basically, when you bring on a producer, you now are giving them, you know, creative stance, and that makes it even more difficult. So, I mean, as far as bringing James Gunn in, he's a writer and he wrote for Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah,
I think he wrote. Yeah. So, I mean, having him come in, he's coming in on what, Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
I don't not necessarily seeing that going downhill. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy both movies I thought were really well done.
Plus the 2 Scooby-Doo movies he's also doing with Hero too.
Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know he did those. But I think that, you know, with Disney, you have this unlimited amount of free reign. You know, yeah, like you said, just basically do whatever you want as long as it's within contract and as long as you use whatever you're supposed to be using. But at the same time, with that ability, they can pretty much, like you said, do whatever they want. So DC has an issue now because they've had to bring on different producers, different directors. There's been so many different movies by different people that we've kind of mixed it now at this point.
But
So,
to counter that point real quick, Warner Brothers has had tons of impactful series. Warner Brothers is huge with money, just as much as Disney, just not owning as much going on. Because if we look, they own Looney Tunes, fucking Harry Potter, all of this. They were able to get those series completely off the ground and handle those amazingly. Harry Potter wouldn't have been as big a success if those movies hadn't done it. I'm sorry, no one's gonna sit there and read a book.
it is, though. Warner Brothers didn't get a hold of Harry Potter until a couple of years ago, and I'll tell you why. There was written in J.K. Rowling's contract. She didn't. If you noticed lately, we are getting a plethora, a ton of Harry Potter shit everywhere. Like all of a sudden, it's just, you know, I was reading Harry Potter when I was like, 15. That's like 15 years ago. But it wasn't as big then as it is right now. And the reason for that is because she finally was able to give up rights contractually to Warner Brothers. Now Warner Brothers can do whatever the fuck they want with it. So now they're just starting to earn enough money from Harry Potter. Just now.
And that's why Ezra Miller's having a hard time with the Flash.
Yeah.
And yeah, that kind of just proves the point still to the Warner Brothers. You guys need to do better.
Yep, now let's move on. And beyond.
Yeah, please.
A couple of days ago, same day announcement when Ben Affleck stepped down for Batman, a rumor emerged, Batman Beyond. It was the top trend between voice actors on Twitter. Old Power Rangers are suggesting, oh, get this person, get that person. And the rumor filled up saying, oh, they want an Asian voice actor. But the number one thing they wanted is Michael Keaton to voice Bruce Wayne, which is not a bad idea, because when I thought that was a real rumor, that is confirmed, because Kevin Smith said something the same week. He said, the Batman Beyond movie will make billions if you bring in Michael Keaton.
The only reason I kind of knew that movie wasn't like it, I had a feeling like, yeah, this ain't real. But when they said this was their animated answer to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, so I'm like, those two don't correlate. If you said Spider-Man 2099, okay.
Yeah.
But those two don't correlate. It's not like they bringing out Black Batman anytime. We're not gonna see Eddie Murphy as Batman for a while.
Here's the thing though, it's also the anniversary, you know. It came out in 1999. All the voice actors were either alive or dead. It's a franchise that wasn't as popular as people say it to be honest, thinking about it. Because in middle school and high school, I didn't encounter any fans of the show.
Batman Beyond?
Yeah, I didn't encounter anyone who watched it yet. Because it was during the rise of anime out here too. Think about it. Dragon Ball Z is on Toonami, Gundam Wing, and they had to throw in Batman Beyond on Toonami because it was a major hit on TV, but it wasn't to be a major hit outside TV compared to the comic book movies we have. Because me and Sadistic are from the same era. Yeah, we're old.
Yeah. I mean, when I think Michael Keaton, I think of the first Batman. It's like 1989.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like that, for example. Like me and her, we were bullied for being nerds. You know, compared to right now, it's suddenly cool and Beyond.
Oh, no, for sure.
They're not cool.
Like, I mean, as far as being a comic book nerd, you know, and like I was a huge Batman fan from the time I was little. I mean, that's all my dad ever we watched together, you know. And then I'm talking like the early 1990s movies, and I mean, Michael Keaton played in Beetlejuice and Birdman, all those really, really, really good movies.
Yeah.
But when I think Michael Keaton, I think original Batman. You know, the 1989. For me, that's original.
Yeah, like I
Not,
encountered
you know,
on
what I'm
Twitter.
talking
I encountered something on Twitter last night about the Batman stuff going on. They mentioned they never seen the Batman animated series or the old movies, and it's like
It's crazy. To me.
like it's crazy to think about that because you know everybody knows Batman. Everybody who's a Batman fan has at least seen a couple of episodes of Batman, at least. You know, people have Amazon Prime, somewhere on there, some have the DCEU app, you can watch it on there. But Batman Beyond, I don't know, I think it's more exaggerating that he's popular. But the thing is, how often do we see him in media? We saw him in
Not
Justice
as
League.
much.
We saw him in Justice League Unlimited during the epilogue, which is supposed to be the ending of Batman Beyond. You see his suit in Arkham City and in Arkham Knight.
Exactly.
Then we had a short because of the anniversary of Batman on DC Nation during the cancellation of Young Justice, and that's it. And he's finally in canon, but I'm not too sure those comics are actually doing anything well. Ever since they killed him off in New 52 during the Futures End. Like with a Batman Beyond movie, anime movie works, sure it'll work. It'll make some money. It won't make the same numbers as Into the Spider-Verse movie. But like you said, comparing it
And
to
I'm gonna
that,
tell you why.
but comparing
Wait,
to
say
that,
what you're gonna say.
yeah, comparing to that, I don't know. I really don't know. It's already got backlash when they announced they wanted to use an actor for it. People assumed it was a live mental notes and an anime movie. And here's the funny thing why I say that. I don't care who voices him, as long as it's good. I thought Hiro Yamada was a white guy when I first saw Big Hero 6. Then I found out, oh, it's an Asian guy. No difference.
Cause you're not gonna notice it. Here's the thing: don't make a character just because he can be that. Just because he can be that race.
But the funny
I
thing
always
is,
hate
though,
it.
because I think Terry McKinnon is still Asian. If you get the designs from the show, it looks pretty
I
Asian.
assumed he was Asian when
Yeah,
I first saw him.
I thought he was Asian too. But then I see, oh, he has white parents. Then you find out, oh, he's actually the son of Bruce Wayne.
You gotta remember, I saw Batman Beyond when I was 7.
Yeah.
Because it always had reruns on Jetix, and the first thing I immediately saw was that's an Asian guy, and that's because I was drunk. A 7-year-old child figures that out.
Yeah.
And now I'm just saying it like this: would a Batman Beyond movie work? Well, first thing you need to do is stop saying it's the answer to anything. Because here's the thing: when it came to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and only because I'm a bit of a fanboy of Spider-Man, there were 3 things that made that work. A unique art style that varied in multiple different art styles, a great soundtrack, and amazing voice acting. You already have one of those down if you ever do decide to actually do it, because it's not real. You already have voice acting down. You need to have a unique art style, so don't go for the same one that you already had. Because I hate to say it, the whatever his name is, the art style from like Justice League and Superman and all that has kind of aged, and it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Second, you need a unique story that at the least equivalent to that of the comic books. So everybody's tired of origin stories. Don't start off where the show, start off where the comic book is, where it started in New 52 and the series.
And I think so. It's not hard for Batman Beyond because if you go back to the soundtrack, it had like a cyberpunk kind of.
And that'll work for them.
Yeah, it'll work right now. They could add in electronic bands on there that are underground. I gave you an example of an electronic band that sounds pretty cyberpunky. Is Mind in the Box. They're from Germany.
Exactly.
And their sound is like, okay, I can see that in a sci-fi movie. And Beyond, yeah, it's gonna be sci-fi. That's the biggest problem right there too, because sci-fi is not doing that good.
It really isn't. If people try to just put all superhero movies in the sci-fi, no. They are their own things. Here, we're gonna go back to these. Wonder Woman was a period piece at one point, essentially.
Here's what I think.
Batman vs Superman was just a normal superhero movie, not Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel. The idea.
The thing is though, if anime movie would work live, it wouldn't. It'll be too much like a grip off of Iron Man in the Batsuit. That's all it is.
True.
It'll be so much different than the cartoon. The cartoon, it looks like it's like a fabric on it, one piece fabric. But putting that in real life, it would look like a 90s kind of TV show. It looks fake.
That's why it works better at the animated series.
Yeah, the animated series will work better.
In the animated movie too, because like you can't just go for it like that.
Plus, not everybody knows of Batman Beyond compared to like Miles Morales and the Spider-Verse. Because the Spider-Verse comics, you know, the story was out there. It was trending. People were getting upset at it, loving it. Batman Beyond.
And there was,
Nothing major's been happening lately in the comics so far. Only just the Joker and another death or Robin, but they're hinting won't die. So it really isn't out there.
it's like asking everybody. Let's face it. Name the most recent time you've seen Batman Beyond. Here, I'll say mine, the Arkham games, because I was playing them last night.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw an actual Batman Beyond thing. Besides the comics.
Yeah.
But not everybody reads the comics.
But yes, it is. When was the last time you seen Batman Beyond?
I couldn't tell you. I'm no idea. To be honest with you. I got wrapped up in that. I was following like a Michael Keaton trail, and I just kind of got caught up and it kind of surprised the crap out of me.
The last time I saw Batman Beyond was the animated show.
When was that? When was that?
Years ago. That's the
When
last
it was
time.
on TV.
Yep, that was years ago. So,
What was it? Saturday morning cartoon
yeah, it was,
on Dome?
yep, it was a Saturday morning cartoon.
Now let me tell you when the last time I've seen the Batman Batman Beyond animated series. I was 7. Jetix was bored one day and decided, you know, Batman on the animated series, and let's see if these kids know about Batman. Let's plop it right there. Now, I already heard rumors when I was like 5 or 6 because my cousin used to always hype up show, and he always told me about Batman Beyond. I was like, that's some bullshit. And I actually watched it. I was like, this is dope, but it's probably not going to be that popular because it has a weird art style, weird music, and no, people back in the early 2000s were what I like to call dicks.
Plus, it only ran for 3 seasons.
And it
Yeah,
was
it was
because I'm like, bro, that's like Batman. It's like even with Miles Morales, I'll admit, when was the last time we saw him? Which was in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
Yep, voiced by
What?
Donald Glover.
But here's the thing. A lot of people like the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, but at least you can say I saw him recently.
Yeah.
I feel like they should give him his own cartoon, like give him a new series before their own movie. Because it makes sense, because that way we can get more in tune with Terry McGinnis. Or at least find some way to push him out there. Cartoon Network do have the rights. And I know DC wants to keep their shows in the app, but at times, just slide it over there.
Yeah.
Like nobody looking at Teen Titans Go, just slide that over there. Make it a mini short that happens after every cartoon or something. Because Terry McGinnis is an awesome character that they keep underutilized.
Plus, the youngest Batman we ever had.
Exactly. Like the darkest?
No, youngest.
I was about to say,
He was
I'm
16.
not gonna say that.
He was 16 when he was Batman, and Bruce was 23 when he became Batman.
See, that already kind of brings the the comparison to Miles, because Miles was only 13 when he became Spider, and Peter was 15.
Yep.
A 2-year difference, but it's a
Plus, Terry was like a fresh new kind of character too. He was already a delinquent. He got into fights. You
Wasn't
know.
as Brody.
Yeah, and he was struggling, you know, between a divorce between his parents. And when one parent died, he didn't have the whole kill both parents. So that idea was thrown out there of killing both his parents when he become Batman during Justice League and Limited episode Epilogue. That's why I like Terry. He
Also
was brand
consider.
new.
Also consider if there is a Batman Beyond animated series again. Older Damian.
Yeah.
Damian Ra's al Ghul.
So it's like, again, there's a lot of things they need to consider if they ever do actually consider this movie. But I guess that's why they came improved. Yeah, it's not because they don't have plans for food. They're struggling financially with their live action division. You really think they're gonna take a risk like that?
I mean,
Sony can afford to take that risk because they were the underdogs.
They got extra cash next to Marvel.
Not just that, but nobody expected that movie to be great. That movie was great. If DC up with their movie, not just that they're gonna have the fans on their ass, they're gonna have critics on their ass, and they're gonna have shareholders on their ass. So they're like, what prompts you to do this? We're putting money into you, and y'all can't even write a decent ass script.
Alright, so Birds of Prey. Teaser came out. A lot of people are talking and don't understand that it's a testing kind of teaser, like they did with the Joker when that was first announced.
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot about it, and I kind of do and don't want this movie because it's not formed by the original team, which a lot of people, know of it. We did have a live Birds of Prey that was in the 90s. It was, but it lasted 9 episodes, and it was a train wreck. It had the right team, kind of, but at the same time, story-wise, wasn't that great. It was pretty much connected with Batman Returns. And this one is, they're gonna have Cassandra Cain, who's an orphan on the streets. They're gonna have Huntress, but not Helena Wayne that everybody wanted. It's gonna be Hannah Bertinelli, the reboot of Huntress after Crisis happened. They got Black Canary, which is the only, one of the 2 early characters of Birds of Prey. It was originally formed by Barbara Gordon. She was one.
Are you confusing me with someone?
I'm not gonna act like I know much about Birds of Prey, so I'm gonna let you and Sadistic and Lizzie kind of handle this. I'm going back away. All I'm gonna say is
Joke's on you.
All I'm gonna say is I'm only knowledgeable on Harley Quinn, so I'm a good job with that.
Joke's on you, I know nothing about Birds of Prey.
Well, I mean, all I know about Birds of Prey is like the actual. I didn't even realize they were making a movie. I mean, I did, but I wasn't really like too in tune with it. I know it's not coming out till like the release like 2020, so it's a year
Next
away.
year?
Yeah, so we're looking at like, but I only know is it's got like the actual Birds of Prey from the original. Like it's Batgirl and Black Canary and Huntress, and those are the main characters. So that I can remember. Harley Quinn.
It has Batgirl in it?
No,
not in the trailer in the movie.
Oh,
Okay.
I remember something I remembered from the Birds of Prey. They threw Nightwing out of.
We don't talk about that.
I didn't know that. I didn't actually read any of them.
I read a little bit of
Nightwing got yoded.
He was minding his own business, and they just grabbed him and threw him out of a window.
Cassandra
And he
Cain
just
did.
he just looked like, what did I do? He just looked
Anyway,
at them like, what did I do?
yeah, there's a lot of negative feedback of it because, again, people think, oh, Harley Quinn, it's not Harley Quinn. I was like, so you expect her to wear the Jester suit 24/7? Because last I checked, she wore different clothes.
It's Margot Robbie is playing Harley.
Yeah. And I didn't mind it. How she did her. It fits. The original creators love her, even though they're probably getting royalties off of it. But I don't like the team. I don't think that's Harley Quinn that's working it, because she was never an original member.
Was he even ever a member?
No, I could read the members right now.
Hey, we got time. Go ahead.
We had Barbara Gordon, Black Canary, Huntress, Lady Blackhawk. Those were the main ones. Then later on they had Big Barda, Black Alice, Blue Beetle, Catwoman, Cassandra Cain, Condor, Rio, Dove, Gypsy, Hawk Girl, Ice, Infinity, Jade Canary, Josh, Master, Katana, Manhunter, Nightwing was part of it too for a while, and was going to be Power Girl, Sabian, Secret Six. Spice Smasher, Starly, Vixen, and Wildcat. Nothing or Harley Quinn I stated right there. This is the original team.
Well, no, why they're really trying to push this character.
Well, the thing is though, I understand why they're putting Harley Quinn on there, because she's the second bestseller of DC Comics along with Batman.
Yeah.
Because she's interesting. It's because guys love her and girls kind of want to be her, so that's why. She's
Or girls love her because Les.
Also, okay, there's some pictures of the tattoos. Yes, it does take place after Suicide Squad, and it's when her and Joker break up. Apparently, her and Poison Ivy are together in this movie because she has her name on her
James, honey,
the tattoo.
did something happen to you?
That doesn't always. Never mind.
You
I
know
don't
the
know.
communities are.
It's just the comic community jumps towards so many conclusions immediately.
Yeah, like most of them never read them. Like it's all these accounts that I see, say, oh, let's talk about this. They're negative about it, or they praise it. Like I'm upset that Barbara Gordon's not in it because she is the founder of it. But
I think the Killing Joke hasn't happened yet.
no, it hasn't. But the one who's writing the story for the script is actually working also on the Batgirl Soul.
So it's yeah. Honestly, I think that's the reason why they're keeping Oracle or back.
I mean, do I see it happening? Like they're making an appearance on there? Sure, why not? Yeah, maybe a name mentioned or she appears at the end.
Yeah, cause like I don't think it's too early. I just think they never ever. Like I don't think they were envisioning a team. I think it was supposed to be Gotham City Sirens, and they just kind of like let's push that over and just.
That's part of the trilogy, supposedly too. They're hoping if this does a successful job, like sure, it'll probably be a good major success because it's an all-female team. We haven't had one of those since Charlie's Angels. And those are major franchises too. All women.
Cause it's like the '90s.
Exactly, but I don't know because the DCEU timeline is really trash to me. Because
It's convoluted.
yeah, like for example, Batman v Superman, we see a Robin existed, but they never confirmed which one. And and then they announced a Nightwing movie, which is the same universe as Batman v Superman. I'm like, okay, how's that gonna work? Are they going to where he never was Robin? Or are they gonna do it where he had a fallout with Bruce and quit?
So they're just rehashing Titans.
Yeah, and the Batgirl movie too, with Josh Whedon was working on it.
Did something
It was
happen
script
to you?
before he got fired. He hinted a Robin was to be on there. I was like, okay, is it Dick Grayson or Tim Drake? Can't be Tim Drake because Tim Drake is a major influence of Bruce becoming back stage, becoming Batman, and toning down the killing. Not Superman. It was a Robin that turned him down. Birds of Prey, like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I mean, they have they have an interesting cast. I mean, we have somebody who was like kind of tough for a movie. We have Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who's from Scott Pilgrim. Those are Mama Flower. She knows how to play like kind of characters that are off balance and can't go around
Normal people.
And Ewan McGregor as Black Mask, that's perfect casting right there. Ewan McGregor's a good actor.
Wondering how they're gonna do all of this, considering like they're not even following the original script. So it's like, we have no idea.
Yeah, but does Batman even exist in this? I mean, you saw Batman Suicide Squad.
He put Harley in jail.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. Like, I want to see what else they're gonna do. I'm hoping, the little rumors true that Barbara's gonna make an appearance on there. It's just, hate a Birds of Prey movie. We already have a strong female character that showed us that female superhero lead in the DC works.
I don't really think we need this movie.
It will teamwork with the characters
The reason why they're going to use it to make money, the reason why they need this movie is to make money, and it actually has a strong premise. I feel like if you guys are just overthinking it, to be honest.
I don't know.
Probably.
It just don't feel like we need it at the moment.
Because
Well, technically, we don't need superhero movies at all. The market's a bit oversaturated, but we're gonna get them regardless.
yeah, but Birds of Prey, they're not superheroes though. They're
James, honey.
a group of
Are they-
vigilantes.
That's fine. Even more. So not superhero movie, it's a vigilante movie, which we don't have as many of. So maybe we do need it.
But not a terribly written one, or with
Well,
not
I hear
so great
good
design.
things. I hear good things of this writer. Linked devoted. She's doing her research. I mean, I like the design of Black Canary. It's like a punk-looking thing. She is a singer in the comics, and at one time she was a brunette and wore a wig, which Arrow got right.
So what's your reasoning for why this movie shouldn't exist?
So you're asking me what my reasoning for it is.
Yeah, like why do you think this movie shouldn't happen?
There's not a strong fan base on it. Nobody's gonna know what it is. You're taking a risk, another risk that you obviously don't know how to pay off. See, it's not exactly the best way to show it off is with a test run, because we've already seen Margot Robbie and people like her. So at least if you were gonna do something like this, at least wait and show off like a teaser trailer. We're not impatient. We can wait. Now, am I saying it has no complete right to exist? No, I'm not saying that, because every movie has every right to exist, because every artist is allowed to express that. I'm just saying, in my opinion, we have no reason to have it. To which I then go back to your point, you have no reason to have superhero movies because the market's oversaturated, but then that could be said for every movie genre ever.
So, and with your first, the fan base isn't as strong, all those things about no one knowing who they you can say that also was the same as the Galaxy too, as
There was
well.
a reason for this. There was hype around this because we didn't know if it was going to make it or not. With DC,
Well, that's the thing, is that they have Margot Robbie, who they know people already love as Harley Quinn, and they released test footage to show, hey, maybe you should be interested in the movie, because she's going to be in it, and you know you loved her from her portrayal of Harley
Yeah,
Quinn.
but no-
It wasn't as good.
Drax wasn't in Captain America. So we can't say, well, Drax was in that one Captain America movie, so he may got a chance to do better, yeah.
But they got Chris Pratt.
But Chris Pratt didn't appear in any previous Marvel
He
movie.
didn't have to. He was already popular from Parks and Rec and other things.
That's not the point. It's the point of the character.
Yeah, it's like what I said earlier. People who do Birds of Prey either remember because of the show we had in the 90s, which was the last 9 episodes. And it did have somewhat the original team, but it was too much tease that movie was going to be in it, which is why it got canceled.
Well, I feel like this is actually really great timing for DC. They just had Aquaman. They've shown that they can do good with Wonder Woman. And they're going to be with Shazam soon, which looks to be promising. So they released a little teaser like they did the Joker one, which was well received, by the way. They released another teaser to show Birds of
I
Prey
don't know who you were talking to when that.
when the Joker movie, the Joker thing happened.
No, not the Joker movie. The Joker Suicide Squad. I thought you were talking
No,
about
I was
that.
talking about the
you were right, you
test
were
footage
right.
they released for Joker that was well received. This
You
is
were right,
actually a
you were
great
right.
time for them to release more test footage of a movie,
That's why
and they included Margot Robbie
Yeah,
to
but the thing is,
hype
though,
it up a little
it didn't feel like it was going to be Birds of Prey.
more. But regardless, people who don't know what Birds of Prey are still going to be interested in watching this movie because DC is starting to
Plain
get a good
negative
track
reception.
record.
Not necessarily. I have to agree with her because Margot Robbie, everybody knows her. Everybody knows
Mhm.
Harley Quinn. Even though she wasn't involved in the original Birds of Prey, here's the thing. It's supposed to be the emancipation of Harley Quinn, meaning that they're
Yeah.
taking her on as this extra person. They're not saying she's involved in the Birds of Prey, and she never was. It was more of like, no, yeah, we don't know who those characters are, but now everybody's gonna. everybody's gonna know who they are because of her, because they're pulling her in and they're making her like this kind of character that they're going to reinvent and redevelop, into a good guy, rather than this anti-hero vigilante that she was in Suicide Squad. Like they're gonna change her into something else, and it might work, it might not, but just introducing her as a character is going to bring other people into knowing these other characters, even if they didn't know them before. Like, I'll tell you something, I honestly never even bothered with Suicide Squad, didn't know it, had no idea what the comic book was, but I went to actually go see the movie. Now I know who Harley Quinn is, now I know who the Witch is, now I know who all these other characters are that I've never even heard of.
Right.
So you're bringing, I think it's a good thing for DC if they do this. I know you're yeah, exactly.
And they were, like I said, they were smart about when they released the test footage, because they're starting to get a good track record based off of Aquaman and how Wonder Woman was received, and how Shazam is looking to be well received too, based off the trailers, though we don't know for sure until the movie comes out.
But can I make one last point? Going back
Go ahead.
to this point, she said she's never heard of Suicide, but there was already a devoted fan base for that. And going back to your thing on Shazam and Wonder Woman, everyone has heard of Shazam and Wonder Woman. And
I
before
never
you
heard
say
of
this-
Shazam.
Before
I
you say it,
remember him as Captain
the older generation, and I can track it back when he had a show in the 60s, all the way to now, has known about him. I have family members, I have talked to comic book shop, and they've known about Shazam, but they didn't know him as Shazam. They knew him as Captain Marvel. This is why Shazam is gonna, because the older fans are gonna be like, wait a minute, I remember him. No one's gonna fucking say they remember Birds of Prey.
No one's gonna remember Birds of Prey, but the thing is, now I guarantee you the sales of them will go up after the movie comes out if they nail it.
It's not necessary that they need to bring in all the fans either. They also need to appeal to the general public who aren't really comic savvy. Anyways, especially when it comes to DC, the public is oversaturated with Marvel. They will only know Marvel characters. The general public will now be introduced to more DC characters, and if they release the test like they did, and they included Margot Robbie, who received a good standing with the general public who watched, not fan base normally, but I'm sure she received a good standing with the fan base. The people who weren't into comic books who watched Suicide liked Margot Robbie. They're gonna like her in Birds of Prey because they already liked her in something else, so they will therefore watch Birds.
Then my final point to you is, I'm gonna hold y'all to it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna wait for another trailer and more stuff about it. I've been keeping an eye out for the production photos to see if there's a hint of Barbara Gordon or somebody I know from the comic.
Yeah, and we're not necessarily saying the movie will be good. We're just saying that they actually were playing it pretty smart, and they're doing a good job with trying to bring
a great job marketing. They're doing a great job marketing it. That's exactly, and honestly, that's what DC needs. I mean, Marvel's got everything hands down because yes, they have Disney. Disney helps with all of their marketing, and Warner Brothers, takes down a lot of the marketing for DC. But they're marketing this perfect, like she said. In between, Shazam supposed to be, really, really good. Honestly, never heard of the character at all. So this
the first time I heard of Shazam was in Young, and I was surprised.
I don't even know who that is. But Aquaman, of course, I know. So that was received well. Wonder Woman was received really well. So this is actually really, really good. Coming, like they marketed it really well, and they're throwing a little teaser out there for you, like, oh, so we're gonna have more of Harley Quinn. Even if we don't know who Birds of Prey is, we're still gonna have more of Harley Quinn, which everybody likes. So I think it's gonna, like I said, I agree with her. I don't know if it's gonna do well, but they really definitely marketed it very well as far as when they put it out or when they released this little clip of theirs.
And the movie isn't as so much about need, because we technically didn't even need the galaxy so much, well, except for the introduction of things, but they could have used something else for that,
Like what though?
Well, they could have used Captain Marvel right away.
But that's the thing, that's what Marvel is known for. But that, again, this isn't a Marvel discussion.
No, I was
This is a
saying,
DC one.
as you were making the same arguments that people made for Guardians of the Galaxy. No one knows who they are. They don't really have that big of a fan. and such. Those were the things I heard about Guardians of the Galaxy too, but they did a great job.
But here's the thing, there was an
So people are going to give Birds of Prey a chance because of that, because they said.
And now everybody knows who Guardians of the Galaxy is.
You're not seeing my point. There's an air of mystique to the Guardians of the Galaxy because there was no previous media to it. There's media to Birds of Prey. There is a TV show. I have never heard of
this TV though.
Yeah, because me and you were the youngest ones.
It's on DCEU. You can probably find it on YouTube too.
My sister.
Liz, you're like the 16-year-old.
Probably never heard of it. I mean, I could probably bring in people who have never heard of it either.
I mean,
It
people
didn't-
already know who Huntress is because of Arrow. Like Canary,
Yeah.
Arrow, and
We will know who Huntress is.
I feel like those are the two that's gonna have like the biggest. The three people who are gonna have the biggest impact on this movie are the people you just hit: Harley Quinn, Black Canary, and Huntress.
Right. Which
and
is,
Cassandra Cain too. Cassandra's well above that girl.
yes.
Yeah.
So they'll be confused as about who she is at first.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the movie will explain.
Yeah,
I wish for the best. I just don't want DC crashing again. Because Aquaman did it good.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Shazam.
I'm
Joker, I'm not worried about because it's from a good producer who made some really cool gangster movies. And Joker
not.
fits
You
that
can't
role.
really mess up with the Joker now because we see how he looks.
Yeah.
We don't know how he act, but no, he got the look. You got the look. That's enough for me. That is enough for me. I'm done. I'm seeing your movie. I bought my ticket. Let's go. Ring, get your jacket. We're going to
The
go.
test footage. That wasn't even official trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's still good enough for me. Ring, go get your jacket. We're going to the movies.
Then you hear how the test footage did so well with Joker, they tried it again with.
But then that just ended up confusing people.
Well, they did it like almost like
July.
it's a test. So no, what they did was as far as how filming works, what they did was they were trying out costumes.
Yeah.
So to see if it'll work on
Also-
screen, and
Yeah.
so they did test footage. So they're doing test footage of the costumes, how they flow on screen. So the one shot with Harley in this new little getup of hers, and how it's going to look, is really, really cool. I think they did a really, really good job with it as far as just taking that screenshot. It's just neat. So putting it out there, it's like gets people a little bit excited because she's gonna look different.
Yeah.
And the other characters are gonna look really, really cool too as far as their costumes go, because you don't see their faces yet. You only see Margot's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's neat. I think it's gonna be.
Oh,
Now,
Granny,
whether the
final-
writing's good, we'll find out with trailers.
Yeah.
But-
So, any last words on everything that we discussed? Batman Beyond and Birds of Prey.
I'm a mixed stick Batman. That's all I wanted was a thick Batman. We had him, and now he's gone.
I don't care either way. Affleck, he's one of those actors I can take or leave him in any role. So it's not gonna bother me too much if he leaves. To be honest with you, we'll just get a new Batman.
I just hope we get a good Batman for Matt Reeves' whatever the hell it is, prequel.
I don't care.
Alright, Phantom, sign off.
So thank you guys for watching another Maximum Nerd podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out everybody's social media and all that bullshit. I'll see you guys in the next. Peace out.
Bye.